Because, similar to what you're saying, okay, well, yeah, girl, you just want to be free. You just want to run around, do whatever. Hang on a second. How do we go from this to this? Like, we polarize these things.
We have a
right?
habit societally. There is
Yes.
a habit societally of justifying one's actions.
Mm.
And the
Amen.
moment that I have to justify, or I feel like I need to justify my actions, then we are in ego and we are in shame. Because it's so easy it's so easy to justify. It's like, I'm going to end this relationship. I'm going to tell you what happened. The relationship ended.
Yep.
And then usually the question is why?
What happened?
Well, that's the first, there's nothing wrong with asking for motive and reason for understanding, right? Because a lot of people try to understand. But that can automatically put us in a position where we have, I was like, well, I've become self-conscious. I might not want them to know something.
Yes.
I want it to sound good to satisfy their inquiry, their judgment.
Yes.
And then we're playing a game.
Yep.
At that point, it stopped being about real connection. It stopped really being about yourself. It stopped being about your truth.
Yeah.
And then it starts being about them.
Yeah.
And so it got to the point for me, it's like I didn't feel like I needed to justify it, but I started understanding that game was happening. And then I recognized in myself that I was doing that in many other places in my life, right? Where it's then just like, well, did you guys have a bad relationship? They're looking for a reason that satisfies their judgment. Because I've also been the friend for other friends that are like, and I also have friends too, just like in this situation, hey, the relationship ended. Man, I'm so sorry that happened. They show their condolences. They show up and say, do you want to talk about it? They don't need to know why. That is a symbol of unconditional love.
Amen.
Isn't it, right? It's like when you have a friend, and I can't say that for everybody, but at least for myself, and this has been my experience. I've had people show up for me and not have to explain why or to satisfy their conclusions to make it black and white. It's just like, hey, I'm going to be here, hold space for you. What do you need? Yep. You want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. You don't want to talk about it? That's totally fine.
Yep.
So just also understand, it's like, some people are very intrusive and they will try to force a satisfying answer. I mean, trying to tell my parents about that and letting them know, like, my dad was a lot more respectful. It's like, well, that things happen. I mean, he had been divorced 3 times. They're like, well, those things happen. People get divorced all the time, right? And that's one response. And then for somebody else, my mom was more interested in knowing and understanding the why.
Yeah.
And I would explain, it's like, look, she feels like we're growing into different directions and that's where she wants to go. And that's what she wants to do. And she thinks that we're too far apart. And you know what? It's like, and then everything that I said in the beginning, it's like, if this is what she wants to do, then that's what she wants to do. Like we tried having conversations about it, but like she has the right to choose make her own decisions. And I have the right to be chosen as well.
You do.
And so, like, to me, I made it as simple as possible. And it's not always simple because I've also been in relationships where I've had PTSD. Like I had some serious, because I couldn't just wrap my hand around it, or like there was a lack of information or justification. So just know, like, you don't need to play that game with other people, just in general.
You don't.
Like,
No.
Your reasons could just be your reasons.
And literally, I feel like it's like the metaphor of, there's the rose-colored glasses metaphor, but it's how I see it actually is that all of us have a pair of readers, and readers meaning you need to put them on to be able to like read the thing in front of you. That's what happens. So the moment we start going down the path of like, well, tell me what happened, because I want to understand here. Someone is putting on their readers, which is their prescription. So you could put them on and can't see shit, but then you could put them on and see everything, right? But they put them on to read your story. And so they're going to see through their own glasses what this would mean, because most of us, and especially our ego, wants to put ourselves in the shoes of that person to pretend like we're the one who has to go through that. And then what comes out is the advice that our ego would say. Like, that's some bullshit. If somebody did that to me, I'd blah, 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 right? Or she said what? She did what? How did, what? Or he said this, or he, Whoa. So it's realizing, to your point, everybody's going to have their opinion. Everybody. But those that are truly loving of you, because let's be real, truth bomb time. If you come into a conversation about this, does it really fucking matter to you? I mean, really, at the end of the day, is it really going to impact you? Probably not. That's their life, their choice, or their partner's, ex-partner's choice. It's what they're living, and you are witnessing them. That's it. You're not responsible for their choice. You're not the person who has to do something. And if you do, okay, then you got a little more skin in the game. Then there's a little bit more perspective, a little bit more things that need to be shared. But still, it's that person's life. For me, I always make it a best practice, and I'm not perfect at this, but I try, right? I intentionally try. Ask how they're feeling about it. Not how you're feeling about it, but how are they feeling? Because let's just say they're okay. Well, then isn't that the whole freaking point? Because it's not for you to understand it so that you can feel good for them, so that you can give the goodness to them so that they feel good. Because I'm going to say this right now. You could totally be like, oh, yeah, makes sense. You know, similar to right, your dad, like his life's journey.
Yeah.
And
I'm laughing on the inside. If anybody's noticed me, has some micro expressions of humor. I'm laughing on the inside. No, because a lot of stuff you're saying there is just like, there is a difference between, a lot of people think that being vulnerable means that you're giving somebody else the ability to not have boundaries. It's two separate things.
yes,
And then,
yes,
and then with people that overstep their boundaries, they're not minding their own business.
amen.
So when they get to the
Amen.
point, like a lot of stuff you're talking about, it's just
Yeah.
like, why don't you just mind your fucking business? Mind
Yes.
in your mind your own business, because the moment that you're stepping into, it's like, oh, but I care about you.
Yeah.
Boundaries. You're overcrossing.
Yeah.
You can care about me unconditionally, but
Yeah.
to then have the justification, and then for
Yeah.
you to get mad, if you're getting mad about something that's happening to me,
Yeah.
it's still a reflection that's happening back on you.
Yes.
And that is none of your business.
Yes.
So to hear all these things is just like, it brings the fire out of me. It's just sort of like, you're in my business, right? Like,
Literally.
it's none of your business if all these things. And again, you can care from a
Like a heart perspective, a
heart
relational
perspective,
right?
You can care unconditionally.
Yeah.
I guess it's like on the unconditionally.
Yeah, you can.
I guess the was the you.
Yeah, you were saying it already. That was your subconscious coming out.
So,
because some of those things are not even needed to be said. Because here's the thing. I don't think you'd be invited to that conversation to, let's say, talk to me about how I feel about my divorce if I knew that you didn't care about me, right? Otherwise, just be blunt, eject, right? Goodbye. Like, I wouldn't even listen. But I know you care. That's why you're here. So you don't have to tell me, well, it's because I care about you and I want to be mama bear and I want to friggin' pulverize whoever's doing something to you.
I'm a human being. I am not a bear. I'm not a cub. I don't need.
Leave me be.
Yeah, this isn't a Disney movie where there's a hunter and I'm a little teddy bear, and then a mama bear has to come and protect me. Okay,
leave me be, man.
Like,
no,
I
legit.
Sure, I understand the sentiment, but it's still energetically you're leaking out and trying to get into other people's business.
Yes,
and that is the biggest mirror. It's like you then must return to yourself.
Yes,
come back to yourself.
Yes.
Look how much you're abandoning
Amen.
who you are.
Amen.
And getting into somebody else. Why don't you care about yourself that much? I told a friend that cares about me and was so mad. He was so mad about what happened, because I know that he felt it's like, this is such an injustice. And it's just like, and then later on we had a conversation about self-love, and I was like, you know what, man, I've been exploring. I told him, I've been exploring the concept of self-love is like, I am willing to do for me what I was willing to do for somebody that I love in a relationship. Take them out, like ask them how they're doing. It's like, what a concept that I can go ahead. And it all came from conversation to somebody, a friend of ours, which was like, well, I took myself out on a date. And I was like, what a concept.
Hell
like,
yes, do that.
Like, yeah,
that's the way it should.
I love myself so much that I took myself to treat myself to, it's like, wow. It's like, what if I did all the things that I were not doing for myself, that I were doing for you, but for me?
Yes.
Isn't that a concept of
Would,
self-love?
well, and wouldn't that change everything? Like, because
Yeah.
we must do that. Like, again, we cannot give if we do not first give to ourselves. And our culture, I mean, I'm sorry, every time, allow this to be the invitation, every freaking time you are on an airplane, when you hear those announcers sharing about masking yourself first, there is a reason for that. I mean, think about it. Let's go real left brain here. They could get sued up the yee-ho if they're telling you something they shouldn't be telling you. They have scientifically proven that putting your mask on first allows for more rescues, more people living, more people surviving on that plane. And that is why they tell you. It's a real thing. But we must give to ourselves, and we must encourage each other to give to ourselves. And we don't even know, right?
No, I'm just thinking it's like, well, but to do that too, to be like, I'm going to sacrifice myself, right? In this game that we're playing as souls, right?
Yes.
I'm going to sacrifice myself to save the other person. What little faith do we have that their higher self is not willing to do that? Or maybe that's the experience they came into this world.
Yep.
So there's a level of, hey, mind your business.
Yes.
Does not mean abandon the other person.
No.
But do not take on the lack of harmony that they have in their heart. And the only way that you can be an example is by seeking your own harmonization. This is the thing that I was talking about earlier, right? I was able to witness you when you were a role model in the things that you were doing for yourself, even though they were hard as, you know, for you in that. And, you know, if you would have been like, oh, poor Art, he's like he's suffering, and it's like, I'm going to stop doing what I need to do for myself in order for it
I had a lot of those conversations
to help
with
him.
myself.
Yeah,
absolutely.
but that's what we're trained and expect in relationships, because that's the way that we're like, well, this is how I show love. And it's like, but what are we talking about? Because I don't feel love come out of me in some ways when those things happen. Maybe it does. But then I can like, I know so many martyrs that are just like, well, I do all these things so I can get loved. And it's like, well, why don't you start with loving yourself?
Yes.
And then those people that are around you that are not loving towards themselves, they're gonna do one of two things. Either they're gonna begin to love you, or the frequency that's being held is not air that they can breathe, and then they will eject themselves from your space. And they'll find somebody else that doesn't love themselves equally as much as they do, and they're gonna be together, right? Birds of a feather flock together, right?
Well, and that's shadow feminine. And we all embody the circuitry. We all have divine feminine, divine masculine. To see this in a left brain, right, quick and dirty, you look at your astrology chart. You have a Venus and Mars placement. Those embody the archetypes of divine feminine, divine masculine. Obviously, there are ascended versions. We won't go there right now, but we have that circuitry within. So if you are in a situation where you find you are trying to be a martyr, or you are witnessing someone else being a martyr, that is them shunning their own divine feminine energy, and they are literally in the shadow. That is operating in the shadow.
You have a martyr and an avoider.
Okay. Well, then there's divine masculine, divine feminine. Boom.
Exactly.
Now both of them are in the shadow. Now they're both having, right? Like, so that is an indicator. But what I'll say with that too, is that this is the opportunity, because I will say this, we all have, I will be as bold as this, and I feel my guide's telling me yes right now. We all have soul contracts with each other. You just don't realize it consciously. If you connect with it, you can know. If you seek to know, if you believe that you can know, you will know. Whatever you believe is what you will receive. So if you're in this moment where you find yourself being the avoidant, wanting to run away, that's shadow masculine. I'm in this moment and I want to be a martyr. That's shadow feminine. This tells me, let's say as an oracle, as a connected being, that you are in a position where something is being reflected to you and you're not looking. We have soul contracts with each other. We don't realize that even the things that we witness someone else going through could be part of our own healing, could be part of our own reflection that's needed to see this thing, because it shouldn't trigger you to the point where you can't even talk, or you get so angry, they're like, rah! You know, like, we have emotion for a reason, but at that degree, that's shadow. That's telling you there's something that needs to be healed within yourself. Because, for example, and I love using this example that Bashar gave, is that if you're wearing white socks and someone comes up to you and was like, what the heck is wrong with your freaking orange socks? You're gonna be like, What are you talking about? My socks are white. And they keep going on and orange and orange and orange. And you're like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry that you feel that so strongly about orange socks. But if someone came up to you and started talking about how disgusting your white socks are and how trashy, whoa, whoa, whoa. They're touching what Michael A. Singer refers to as the garbage that you're carrying around. It's stuff you don't even have to carry, but they're poking the garbage and it hurts. And then this is when we want to lash back out. But instead, if everything is a mirror, you are seeing the stuff right there that needs to be healed. If that situation, if you didn't have, let's say, an abandonment wound and you feel this person you're talking to is getting abandoned, it wouldn't affect you the same way as if you did embody the abandonment wound, because it would poke it there and it would make it aggravating and ugh. So maybe this is an invitation, if it does infuriate your emotions, that this is a point of reflection. That what they're going through and navigating, you actually can benefit from in allowing it to show within you what might need to be healed. And maybe this is why you have soul contract. Maybe you both heal this wound at the same time because you're able to converse about it. And I'll just be blunt. Maybe this is your opportunity. You don't even have to live the experience. You're seeing this person, you're witnessing this person, you're holding the container for them to express this thing. Leverage their learning. Leverage their experience, leverage the reminder of who you are instead of imposing like, oh, well, this means and that. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to roll up my sleeves and take my earrings off because I got to beat somebody up. No, you don't. And even if the situation is tragic and, it's an injustice, it's terrible. Well, why is this enraging so much within you? And then how can you support that person to see that within themselves? Because this is their invitation to heal that within themselves. And you can witness them through that if you so choose. But we don't realize the contracts. And instead of, ejecting or then going so hard and so in, you're now becoming part of that. You're taking that thing and like pulling it down in gravity and density and heaviness and let it go. It's like just release and you will float to the top.
And I think, I'm reflecting back on the beautiful years that we spent together. And it was like, there was certainly so many years of healing that we did together. Right. And so there was a lot of healing that happened just being with each other and supporting each other and being friends towards each other and being partners and so on. And then it got to the point, I think, that what was left were the things that we couldn't.
Yes. It's like blind spots.
It was like what we couldn't overcome. And it's like at this point, we grew up enough to be like, okay, well, now that you've helped each other in this space, and this is why we think that we had some sort of contract, because it wasn't like, oh, this is a great relationship. And it's just like, it's like I go to the movies, I sit down and, I eat popcorn and then just enjoy the show.
Okay.
Like there was a lot of active work in shifting and growing. And then it got to the point where it's just like, well, there's not a whole lot of growth because we overcame a lot of these other things.
Yeah.
And
got to that stage.
And the stage was again, right, that it was like, I'm not looking inside, I'm looking outside and I'm focusing on you. And now what spirit and that part of the journey enabled was like, well, there's no one here, I'm going to turn away. And the other person is like, well, and this is me, I have one of two choices. I either continue to follow or I turn my way. And so that turning my way was like turning inwards because you also turned inwards.
Yes.
And then that void, that period of time that we didn't talk was then, well, I don't have an external project here. I don't have any,
no distraction.
Yeah, I don't have any external distraction that I can pour myself into.
Yeah.
Now I am aware of my own pain.
Yes.
Not only the pain from the situation, but I'm aware of the pain and how it's grown over the years, old pain.
Yes.
And
that was way before the relationship.
Way before.
For you, for me.
Yeah. And so then, at least thankfully, I was able to come into contact with these lessons that I learned that allowed me to overcome the most immediate part of like, I don't even want to call it heartbreak because it was more like ego break, right? It's just like attachment, the breaking of attachment, my ego, my self-chosen identity. the pain of like, you know, my brain was already wired. And when I say wired, this is not a permanent thing, right? We talk about neuroplasticity and all that. It's like the quickest response that my brain had over and over to being all these things now had to be redone. And then through that process of like, okay, how do I learn how to be with myself and love myself and then still fall in the shadow, but now there's perspective. Then it's sort of like, well, I did a lot of healing before with you in the relationship. And then having the perspective is like, oh, this, it's like having really old leather pants, you know? And
you
it's
haven't
just like,
moisturized in a while.
yeah, and I'm like, you know, what show was it? It was Friends, right? Where Ross put like baby powder and he tried to put on these leather pants. And then I'm him, just like, okay, you know, let me try on some of this shadow that I remember. And it's just like I can't put him on. They don't look good. They don't feel good. And it's just like I need to evolve and change past this.
Yes.
And I think that the collective healing that we did separately continued, because also there was no harming of what was existing there, at least, you know,
there was no terrorizing of life force.
No,
right? Of like, oh, I'm going to do this to this person.
If it was uncomfortable at times, it was because of where we were energetically separately. But when we came in contact, there was still a lot of respect. And even if there was like frustration, it was never like, well, I'm frustrated with you and I'm going to attack you. It's like, no, because there's a higher road for me, right?
I think I called it out a few times. Like, look, I'm frustrated, or like, this makes me feel.
You've always been good at least calling it out and calling it in, because that's all we're really doing. It's like, we're going to call it in and say, hey, look, this is how I feel currently. And it's like, okay, well, then we're going to respect it. I know many other people that are in their ego that say, hey, look, I'm really mad right now. And the response is, I'm going to get mad then. Like, that was,
don't get mad. Let me get mad too. Let me match it.
Let me reciprocate. I'm fucking pissed. So,
oh my God.
But then it allowed for the moments, because the house, the house still had to be sold.
Yes.
And so we still had to have some level of communication, and income had a real big part in play with that. And I had moved out and signed a year lease on an apartment and having to pay for the mortgage at that point in time. And like, you were really at the mercy, like only in the body sense. This is the thing. It's like, I say really at the mercy for it's probably going to be triggering to some people. It's like, hey, look, you were at the mercy of the ego more than anything. Of like, hey, I don't have a job, and like my ex is paying for the house and for food. And then for many people that'd be like, oh my God. It's like, but I think
I didn't have income coming in, right? So I'm following my passion, but I'm also following what my guides are telling me,
which I supported.
And
as far as like, you do this, like, don't give up. Ever.
And I kept going. And I will say this right now, I know the reason why that needed to happen, because that's how all of the old scaffolding of finances and 3D expectations, that was the only way for me as a soul for it to come down. Maybe for others, it would come down very easy. For me, no. It was so deep that I had to go through some real shit. And for me, I see friction as basically heat, and heat is what empowers transmutation. So it's taking that scaffolding down, burning it all down, using those resources to erect something beautiful. And so it got to the point where literally Ark's telling me, like, look, I don't have enough money to even cover the mortgage, right? You did. He gave as much as he could the first month. And then the second month, it's like, there's nothing there. And I literally was like, okay, guys, what do we do?
But for me, and I want to speak more clearly on that, right? Okay. Because it wasn't that I was just also like ran out. I had gotten,
you gave everything.
So there's two parts to that. So at least what I want to say first is that I had made the choice at that point when we had the conversation that I energetically did not want to continue participating in what was going on. Because I was ready to move on. So I called in that experience. Secondly, the reason I was paying for it in the first place is because for me, people are more important than things. So I followed and honored my nature. And this was outside of role. right? Because I've seen a lot of dudes that have just like, or even spouses, like it could be ladies as well, right? And anything else, right? That they will pay for their partner in these sort of situations because that's what you do as the man or the woman or whatever you want to call it. For me, it was just like, yeah, well, or the breadwinner. For me, it was more about like, who am I? What type of person am I? And this is what I want to do. I want to help support somebody that they're in this situation. I completely support where they're at and where they want to go. But I also had the right to state what my preference was. And it came through conversations. Like one thing, actually, when I started talking it out, I was talking about like having an awkward moment with somebody and then somehow started talking about it. And then it came out to the other side. I was like, I think there's something energetic that has to do with me paying for the house under these circumstances that I don't want to do anymore. And so for me, when we talked, it was more about that. It wasn't about like, hey, I'm broke and all this sort of stuff. It was sort of like, look, I don't want to be in this energy anymore. But
I said, right, like, look, I don't believe my guides would allow a situation for me to be in and me to be just SOL. If they're telling me to do this and I'm following every single thing, I mean, to a T of what they're telling me to do, we have come to this place for a reason. And this is why I think I was on the phone with you and I was pulling cards and I was talking to my guides and it was like, don't pay the mortgage. The house sale's coming. And there was nothing in sight. It's like, what? Now you want me to go into foreclosure? What is happening? Like, there's just beyond logic. But guess what happened? Exactly that. There was only one payment that was missed that was paid for by the house sale. And that's what they said would happen. And in that moment, I could have blown up at ARC and been like, whatever, right? Or made a dope deal and been like, look, here's the thing, you know, what this is what we're going to do.
Fear could have taken over, right?
Literally, because fear was like right there in my neck, like just, you know, like just 2 seconds from coming out. But it was like, no, I have to trust and have faith that this is happening. And he's being honest and vulnerable with me where he's at, what he desires, the experience he prefers. And I'm basically saying, along the same lines of like, look, I'm following my guide's guidance. They're telling me to be here. They know that the house isn't sold yet. They know that the mortgage needs to be paid. That's part of the 3D. I mean, keep relying on them and trust. That's the thing. Like at that moment in time, neither one of us could see the house sale. It's not like, you know, that person had already toured or anything. No, it was not on the table.
Oh, we were trying. And we were trying to make it as attractive to everybody as possible. But I do want to add here that I think that what was also happening from an energetic and all that is like, this is where I think free will really matters and comes in. Because what happened was I was in free will, willing to pay and do everything. And then it got to the point where it's like, it is no longer my will to be in this situation. And verbalizing it and being aligned with it in my own emotions and having that resolve and communicating it then came to the point, and I communicated to you. It was bringing it in. It's like, you know, like talk to your guides, like pray out loud, connect with the emotions, see things as having been done and feeling gratitude. That was what I feel like came in, because it's just like, oh, okay, then he's ready to move on. And then you're also ready to move on. Because in the conversation, it got to the point where it was like, there was tension as far as just like, you know, I can only imagine being in your situation, hearing the other person say, this is not my preferred situation anymore. And then when we're thinking about safety and security in the physical realm, the first thing that comes is then, well, I am screwed. Like what? Okay. So then
and
you're
I
just
had a corporate career where I made an exorbitant amount of money for many years to the point where, I mean, in any years past in our relationship, that would not have been a big deal with how much money I made and what I was doing and everything. But suddenly, boom, here I am working, but not getting paid enough to compensate the things that care for my body. And I'm following what my guides are saying. I mean, it's looking like I'm just going over the cliff. Like legitimately.
Like everything's closing in.
Yeah.
In one way or another.
And I just sat down. It's like, okay, then if I'm in this situation, I have to be here for a reason. But I do believe this, Ark, what you're saying in basically making that command, making that sovereign command. This is not what I choose. I do not choose this any longer. You are speaking it into existence.
Well, we both had our versions of it, because that was my version of it,
yes.
right?
Yes.
And then it's sort of, and again, I said, this isn't my chosen experience,
Yeah.
and I'm willing to do whatever's necessary to make it happen. And to me, it was just like, look, it's a really tough market. I care that you live a better life than what you're living right now, and I want you to grow and move forward. I'm willing to not take any proceeds for the sale of the house. And you had also gotten to your point where you were just like, hey, all right, guys, done, right? Come on, make this happen, right?
It's now or never.
Yeah.
Like, and I know this of energetics. We often, especially in these clearing situations, these are clearing old karma. This is clearing old energy. It's clearing doubt, fears. When we get into those clearing situations, we are going to be stretched to the absolute freaking edge, because they're going to maximize the time that you're in that pressure cooker. So literally, I mean, to the bleeding edge, to the point where you're literally 2 seconds from, Looney Tunes, like, like you are on the edge. And that's the thing. It's like having faith, like standing in your sovereignty, commanding what you want and holding to it. This is what I want. This is what I expect. This is what I, whatever it is. But I do believe you and I stood next to each other. It was like, look, we are coming to this point. This is where we're at. And it's having faith, having the trust that the situation is going to, the things I was being told. The house is selling, Lavender. It's like, all right, now, because what the hell, man? Like, make this happen. But that allowed me to be in my faith, and it allowed me to witness Ark in his sovereignty, to claim and stake and say with the utmost of kindness and love and respect from his heart. There was no, that's it, I'm done. Like that could have come out in an ego ball, but it didn't. It was just like, no, this is it. Like the end of the road is here. And here I stand.
And we weren't doing that entirely in private.
No.
So, because when you're selling a house, you can either sell it by yourself or have a realtor.
Yeah.
So we had our realtor witnessing, holding space, and being the container. And in many instances, it felt like there were two things happening.
Yeah.
We were helping her understand what we were doing, because she's like, it's like, hey, well, like everybody else, you guys are being total adults and all this sort of stuff, all the positive things they could say. And so she's awesome. They're seeing that, but we're also being some sort of an example, right? And so the reason that I'm mentioning this and we're talking about this, it's like, for us, this has been a positive experience. So this isn't like to show you like, hey, look how great we're doing. It's more about, there are other people who are witnessing and are affected by your decisions in life. And the one thing that I'm most grateful for in this situation is that it seemed to have been a positive experience for others, even though it was something that they were sad about. And so for all of you out there that are listening to this, no, you don't have to be perfect. You don't. There's no one that's perfect.
You don't.
Creation is perfect. And maybe you are perfect in that sense, right? You're not going to make the right decisions, but you're going to make your own decisions. And there are people out there who are holding that space in that container for you that you might not know. And they are receiving the residue of the energy of your own transformation. And so always, as much as possible, be loving and patient with yourself as you're going through these things. Because when we're talking about like the world, the consciousness of the world, and like having a new consciousness and being in a love consciousness, that starts inside of us. And if we're able to practice that love with ourselves, and then we can give and share that love with other people, and we can effectively spread that love to others without necessarily telling them our whole life story.
Amen. You embody it.
Yeah.
Just oozes out of your aura.
Yeah.
Without even trying.
It really does. So after that conversation that I said, hey, let's stop. I want to stop. And not stop. It's like, that is not my preferred experience anymore. A sale came through very quickly. It's not a coincidence.
No, it's not.
Voids end the moment that you are done, it ends, and then you begin a new period.
You are a creator.
We were able to reestablish a friendship.
Yeah.
And be there for each other, even months after. I don't even remember exactly when we sold the house. April, yeah. April 26th.
21st, yep.
21st. Right now it's July. So it's been about 3 months.
Yep.
Since then. And I say 3 months, and 3 months is like, I feel like it's been 7 years since then. It's been,
the timelines are just
there's just been so much that really happened there. And I did burp. I don't know if that came out in the thing. It's so close to my chest. Sorry if I had a hiccup earlier too. And we've had then a reconnection of our friendship from the perspective. We've always been more growth and healing, but now there's been certainly more of a spiritual side. And I'm grateful for this journey, and I can see that it's been designed for me in order for me to grow in areas that I don't think would have come easily, right? Because at that point, maybe those lessons learned would have came at the sacrifice of actually being able to have a relationship with you with more negative karma. You know, and I think that happens a lot in relationships when you're not ready or willing to let go. And here's the thing too, and this is a lot of our conversations that we've been having lately. And I think this is stuff that you can expect from our podcast, right? Moving forward, is that we're going to really just talk about our lives, but also talk about what is it that we're studying and looking at.
Yes.
And, you know, flowing in life, and the flow of life is a byproduct of surrender.
Amen.
We had to surrender our ego, and we had to stop arguing with reality, and we had to get in touch with ourselves in order to flow through life.
Yes.
And if we would have held on to our identities and would have created a bunch of negative karma, which is just a lack of harmony.
Yep.
We could have gone to the points where we were so unharmonious with each other that maybe we would not be able to sit here and then together deliver this message. It
literally sitting on a couch.
Sitting on a couch and going through and being supportive towards each other.
Yeah.
And I will say this, it's just like, you know what? Having a soulmate is a beautiful thing. And there are things, and there's a reason why I'm planting this seed, because we'll have more conversations about other types of partnerships. I think a lot of people know about twin flames, and they know about soulmates, and they know about karmic relationships. And in this case, I can say that this was a beautiful relationship. A very, very happy. It taught me so much about myself. It taught me so much about other people. It increased my capacity to give to others that I wouldn't have been able otherwise. It helped me reconnect with spirit in some way or another. And I was able to keep my best friend and all that because I was willing to let go of my marriage. And so
look at all that was gained.
My divorce saved my relationship. And that's like,
when do you ever hear that?
Yeah, that's a clickbait. You know, it's clickbait. I mean, I'm not saying it in a clickbaity way, but this is what's in my experience.
But it's the damn truth.
Yeah.
And this is, you know, again, this is not a prescription that you have to follow. It's an invitation to consider, to contemplate something that might serve you. There might be little parts and pieces here. And that's what this is about. It's about knowing that you can follow your heart and you can follow your inner guidance, and you can still share and mirror things. Even when the 3D tells you like, that's impossible. You can't be really friends with your ex. Oh,
can I say something nasty?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, not if you're trying to bang them.
Oh,
that's so true. Like, that's what people refer to. They're like, hey, you're trying to, like, if you're just into wanting to have sex with them and that's your game, that's
because that's a whole other energetic field.
That is.
It is a whole other energetic exchange.
Yeah.
It is a whole other energetic connection. And there's nothing wrong with it. If that's your jam, all right. But
if that's the only energy that you're holding on to.
Yes.
right? We're not talking about then
For
allowing it.
FOMO.
This is not flowing. This is
No.
an agenda.
Yeah.
And an agenda
Yeah.
is stagnant. It's stagnant,
Yeah.
held intention and energy.
Yes.
This is not manifestation from the side of bringing into your experience. This
Yes.
is expecting and desiring an outcome,
Yes.
regardless of what the other party's free will wants.
Amen.
That's what we're saying. Like, no, you can't be friends if that's what you want. Like, if you're playing, right, spies and agents, right? If you're like, oh, I'm being friends with her, like, what are you talking about? And like, you're like wearing the leather pants. You know? It's a different type of energy.
Well, and it's, to me, it's like flowing with what is the purpose? What is the destiny? What is the energy of your connection with this other person?
Mm-hmm.
Don't put your mind into it as far as like, oh, well, I think it means this, or I'm going to do this math equation. And so that's what this means. It's like, no, hang on. Drop in your heart. Do you want the connection or not? Like, really desire it. And then why do you desire it? What is it here for? Because there are some relationships that are made to end and that there is no more contact, or maybe at some point in the future there is, or, you know, whatever, this or something better. But seeing it through for what it is, because this is what I do believe, that, you know, when we travel on a river, there's a current that's pulling, and our soul is naturally going to guide us to that point where we need to go. But if we keep trying to drive, we're going to interfere with that plan. It freaks our ego out because our ego thinks that we have to drive. And if we finally surrender and finally, honestly, just have fun. Get in the damn boat and just look at everything that's outside. Look at the trees, look at the birds, look at the water. You got in a little quarry thing that you're just chilling for a second. Well, then take a deep breath. Oh, you're going in some rapids? Put on your freaking life vest. You know, have fun. Laugh a little bit. Like, enjoy the journey.
Be scared.
And be scared. Yeah. Exactly. Like, just embrace it for what it is. Live in that moment, knowing that where you're going is where you're supposed to be. And you don't have to engineer it. If your heart is telling you something, follow it. Like, I will just humbly admit, Ark is a very attractive man. Okay? Is it that I'm not attracted to Ark anymore? No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about me connecting to the deeper why of why we're connected, of what we're here to do, our dharma, our destiny. We have a role to play in each other's dharma and destiny. But I want to explore that instead of what I think it is and what it should be because of what I've learned in the movies, or what I think it has to be because of all the money, all the time, all the energy, all the love that I poured into it. So it better give me this. No, I'm throwing all that shit out the window and saying, you know what? If I'm just in this boat, Ark's right next to me in his boat and we're having a conversation. So where does this lead? And just allowing that flow, because man, it feels so good to just be in the moment and not have to force and outthink and, oh, this and that, and then this and that, and I got to do this, and then, oh, they did that, so I got to do this. And like, no. Just be present, appreciate that person's energy. What are they there for? What are they there for you? How are you there for them? And if it is in your destiny or dharma, sometimes you got to let go. You have a period away and you come back together because, you know, going with your example, and obviously if you're watching this via video, you can tell a little easier, but each of us going inward then allowed us to go upward and like come out the elevator. We went up 20 floors and now we're able to come out of the elevator and look at each other and be like, holy crap, we just did that. And not get back in the, you know, like, okay, now we're going to lean into each other again because what are we going to do? No, hang on. Like, let's connect inwardly. Let's find out why we're here on the 20th higher floor, and let's look at the view and let's connect. No expectations, just be. And allow the flow to communicate to you.
Well, and the image that I had in my mind, right, was sort of like, I don't want to be by myself, right? We're in front of the elevators. Each person's like, I don't want to be by myself. I don't want to be by myself. But there's only one person. We got to get to the 20th floor.
Yeah.
So then what ends up happening is just like, okay, each person then is going to go into their own elevator.
Yep.
And then the system that holds you and pulls you up is spirit. It's your higher self. It's your guides. It's the flow of life. And then because you took that moment and I took that moment to go inside and to heal and to face my own loneliness, then I was able to say, okay, this is where I want to go.
Mm.
And then the systems that support me just pull me up.
Damn.
And then we met each other at the other side. It's like,
Yep.
I faced my fears.
High five,
Right?
my friend.
I faced my fears, right?
That is so beautifully said.
Yeah.
And that's the damn truth.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, the reason we wanted to sit down and do this, I know we've been talking about doing a podcast or conversation or what have you for a long ass time.
We've done about 3 different types of podcasts or something. This is the first time we've done one that has to do with spirit.
Yes.
And I think this is...
And each other.
Yeah.
And our connection and our learnings. And
yeah.
But there's things that our guides individually have shared with us. And I know I can speak about what my guides have shared with me specifically. Share what's going on. Share the message. Share the possibility. Excuse me. See, look, I'm burping. We're releasing things, releasing old beliefs, releasing things that no longer serve, right? To make us lighter. Like, no, that's
no,
literally,
but that's
that is
other
the esoteric.
Yeah, but like I just also had the other image in my mind. It's almost like you have to burp right to release, and that's your negative experience, and all you're doing is holding on to it.
Yeah,
so
literally
you don't
trying
even
to swallow
talk
it.
because it's like why are you even putting yourself through that?
Literally, just let it go.
Yeah,
Release it.
There's energetics, and I understand that for a lot of us, it's very difficult to let go because our identities are tied to it.
Amen.
It is who we believe that we are and we came to this world to be, but you are more than that.
You are.
You are more than that. So take the time, write it down, look inside.
Yeah.
You don't have to figure out in a weekend, and if you did, then great, you were ready for that.
Yep.
And it could take you whatever the rest of your life. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
What matters is you have to love yourself. And love, you have to pay attention to what's going on. You have to pay attention.
It's an invitation. So we extend the invitation to you, that we hope that you'll join us in our journey. Obviously, we'll continue to share more because there's a lot to unpack. But in a beautiful sense that I know I pray and hope in my beautiful heart that this serves you in some way. If you know someone this might serve, share it with them. There is always a path forward. Always. Even when we cannot see it. And we have gone through some serious shit. Intense fire. But intense fire is intense transmutation, intense change. How do we get diamonds? Pressure, heat, pushing, in a sense of allowing those natural forces to come through. It's not us doing it. It's, in some ways, things being done to us, but things that we volunteered for. We wanted to ascend. It is a contraction, expansion activity. And sometimes the expansion, it feels great, right? But you have to contract to then again expand at a greater interval. So you've got to go through that. But join us. Come through that journey with us, because I hear ears.
My reaction was to that little
right, lion, because we're excited. And yes, sharing part of what we're also learning and understanding and receiving, we're basically channeling also our wisdom and what we're connected to, and that might serve you. And we'll talk about a variety of things. Obviously our relationship is going to be some sort of pillar or foundational thing, because that is what connects us together. But there's also really exciting things of like, what's next for our individual lives? See, there's the burp. Releasing. See, releasing. All the lovely things. But
I had the gas on the ground. Sorry.
But I think this is the fun part about us just as human, because it's like, well, what's next then? I'll say this right now. I have some inklings because obviously I'm being spoken to, but I don't know. And that's part of the joy in the journey that we don't often allow ourselves to go through, because we think we have to have it all figured out. No, we don't.
No.
We don't. We'll stand here and say you don't.
Yeah. So join us in not figuring anything out and finding out.
Absolutely. But yeah. So thanks, Mark. Thanks for.
Thank you. This is wonderful.
Yes.
I'm happy that we did it.
Me too.
It's
exciting.
I'm looking forward to being able to share more.
Yeah.
And at least from my side, I'm open to questions too. So if anybody is navigating that or wants more detail or any other things, we gave an abridged version of things that happened, but I think we touched on a lot of the key turning points for us.
Absolutely.
And I'm looking forward to also just continuing having different discussions. This isn't just a divorce podcast.
No.
Right.
Because we shouldn't limit ourselves to one thing that happens in our life in any capacity. Could it be a turning point? Yes. Was it part of our ascension journey? Yes. But it's just part.
It is. So thank you. I'm really grateful.
Thank you. Me too.
And we want to thank everybody else. And again, this is for those who are seeking and wanting peace, love, and understanding and harmony. So
absolutely,
we send you all that your way.
So much love and light. We'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.